So it's my joy to be with you all once again. And I had shared long time back also on emotional intelligence last time, and this time it's about mental health. So I will be sharing some of my slides, but it may not go exactly with what I would like to share or what you all may be expecting, because usually the mental health sessions, I take it for 3 days. It's not easy to cramp it into half an hour, but I will try my best. I will try my best to communicate what I have to communicate, and I hope at least 2 to 3% will reach you all. So I've been talking about mental health over last 7, 8 months using different kind of topic, but more or less similar kind of slides. And basically I was talking about resilience. And this time I got the topic, mental health matters. Yeah, it matters. I hope since you all are doctors and you all are health professional, nurses and all, so it's like kind of, scary kind of moment also to talk about certain things, because doctors or nurses and health professionals may ask me a lot of questions which I may not know. So I have to make it very simple so that when you all ask me questions, I have the simple answers. So basically in coronavirus, it has affected a lot of people, and it has affected us also with a lot of fears. Why a lot of fears? Is not because of coronavirus, a lot of fears because of the external news that has been coming up, external negative thoughts that were coming up, or the thoughts that people have put in your mind. It's that fear. So that's why we need to understand how we should protect our mind. Mental health is nothing but the mind. And most of the time, as you all know, you all are health professional, we just talk about physical health. But I think mental health also matters a lot, because if the mental state is not good, then it affects the whole body. And when it affects the whole body, it affects the soul also. And when the soul is down, then we move away from God. That's why it matters. So I'm sure when the news of coronavirus came, I don't know, but I was scared. At first, I was very happy that there was lockdown and I'm going to take a break and I'm going to have a wonderful time with my families. But as the days went by and as the news started filling my mind, and as we started hearing about the numbers of cases that was rising up, the fear had entered in my heart as well. And that is very dangerous. And I'm going to talk about it why. Let me check. How it affects us is our thoughts have an effect on our health, physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. They matter to God. It matters to God. That's why God keeps saying, renew your mind. Why did God say renew your mind? Because there's something that the mind plays. The mind plays a very important and a vital role to keep us physically strong, emotionally strong, and spiritually strong. That's why it has mentioned in the Bible 163 times about the mind, and 132 references are there on thoughts. That's why we keep saying, the Bible also says, his ways are higher than our ways, his thoughts are higher than our thoughts. But it all depends upon who you want the thoughts to be ruled by. Do you want the thoughts to be ruled by you, or do you want your thoughts to be ruled by God? Because it says, be alert and of sober mind. Your enemy, the devil, prowls around like a roaring lion looking for someone to devour. It's written in 1 Peter 5:8. That's why the mental health matters. Because God knows that the mind is a battlefield. And if we don't take care of our mind, then it will affect our whole body. So it matters. And we need to be very careful in taking care of our thoughts. Definitely, uncertainty is certain. There was an earthquake in Nepal. There were floods in Sindhu Palchok. There were a lot of calamities everywhere. So it is certain, uncertainty is certain, but fear and worry are optional. Fear and worry are optional. It's a choice. If we allow the fear and worry to come in your mind, then it will affect your mental health and it will affect your body, It will affect you physically and emotionally, and it will drain you down, and you will be burned out, and you won't be able to do well. So it's our choice on how we should take care of ourselves. As a health professional, I'm sure you all also give us a test. Do this test, do that test, blood test, urine test, blah, blah test. If we don't do it, then it's a choice. Then we won't be well. If we do all those tests, then we will know what is the problem in our body. Similarly, it's a choice. If we keep worrying, if we keep the fear to rule our mind, then it will affect us with depression, with anxiety, with a lot of disorders. So it's our choice. So I am not what happened to me. I am what I choose to become. That means the power is in our hand. The choice is ours. If we know how to take care of our mind, our thoughts, then we will become what we want to become. It all depends upon what we want to become. So whatever I had, it's written in Job, in the book of Job. It says, whatever I had feared had come upon me. Fear is a force for disaster and gives enemy to the doorway, and faith is the key to the blessings. Fear will come, but let the word of God gives you courage to face it. Fear can paralyze your mind. Is there any hidden fear? Look at it now. If you have any fear, fear of losing job, fear of virus, fear of what will happen next, fear of career, fear of being single, fear of not getting married, fear of not finding the right partner, fear of tomorrow. So if we keep having fear, this will occupy your mind, and your mind will be fighting. And that will give our enemy a footstool. But we need to continuously look at our mind. What is occupying our mind? Because the Bible says, trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. Why did God say, trust in the Lord with all your heart, and it says all your mind and all your soul, and lean not on your own understanding? So if our mind, if we lean on our own understanding, what will happen? But if we lean on God's understanding, everything will function well. For God has not given us a spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of sound mind. That means the mental health matters. It does matter. That's why in the Bible it is mentioned again and again. But how do we take care of our mind? How do we take care of our thoughts? How do we protect ourselves? How do we protect our mind? This is the cycle, the thoughts, you know. What is your belief? What is your fear? What is your faith? It all depends here. Thought. The very moment the negative thought, what happens? The negative feeling comes. The very moment the negative feeling comes, then that will bring a negative result, action. You will be acting on it. And after the action, what will be the result if everything is negative? So our mind is a battlefield. It is, the idle mind is the workshop of a devil, you know. So if you are very happy, if you say, oh yes, I am fine, I trust in the Lord, my future is secure, my Jesus has planned a good thing for me, the feelings will be, a joyful thought will come. You will feel like doing more. You will feel like trying more things. You will be very creative. Okay, this didn't work. Okay, God has a plan. Let me trust in the God. Let me pray. And then you will seek advice from your friends. And then you will try to do something creative, because you will be looking at positive way in a different perspective. So the feelings will be excitement. Feelings will be, yes, let me do it. I can do it. And then after that, what happens? The action, you will do something because you have a good feeling. It's encouraging you. Your self-esteem has come out. And then the result will be good. But the very moment you say, I can't do it, I'm good for nothing, I'm stupid, I'm worthless, then the feelings will be bad, depressed. When you are depressed, When you are anxious, then you will be nervous. When you are nervous, then the action will be you will be keeping yourself away. You will lock yourself inside. You will not feel like talking to anybody. Then what will be the result? Result will be loneliness, alone, no production. Nothing will come out well. That's why it's all interlinked. The thoughts. So God says his ways and his thoughts are higher than our thoughts. Why did he say that? Because he knows that. He knows that we as a human being, we cannot do it. But with God's help, we can do it. So our mental health really matters. Why it matters? Because this is the key to the body. It sends signals to the body. If this is not fine, nothing is fine. If this is fine, everything is fine. It's not that the fear will not come. Even I had fear when I had to take my dad to so many hospitals during this season. This is pandemic time, this is COVID time. I have visited 17 hospitals, but every visit I was protecting myself with God's word, because he said he will guide his people. He will cover us. It will come, but it will not harm me. So that's why I was like, okay, I shouldn't let these negative thoughts come in. Negative thoughts affect me, because the very moment the negative thought affects me, I won't be able to take care of my dad. So similarly, uh, all our brothers and sisters who are in the front line, if you allow your negative thoughts to rule you, it will affect your feelings, and you won't be able to produce well, because you will be shivering, you will be nervous, and the result will be bad. So that's why we need to really control our mind, because the power is in our hand. That is what God has given us. We have to have a very good self-talk. We cannot have this. I can't do it. I am not worthy. I must be perfect. Nobody loves me. I'm not good enough. I must not make a mistake. So what happens? Look at this poor guy. But God says, give me all these things. Cast all your burden on me. Because he knows that we won't be able to carry through. Then what happens? All this thought has put him down that he's physically unable to take it. He's emotionally down. He's physically down. That's why we have to be very careful in what we are putting in our mind. What are we saying to ourselves? And our brain. I'm sure there are some neurologists here. I have to be very careful in talking about the brain as well, because I have not studied every neurons, but since I'm a trauma counselor, so I have to study these things. So if you see how our brain functions, when there's no fear, when we don't allow the worries to rule our mind, when we don't allow our fear to rule our mind, then what happens? Our mind, look at this alarm, amygdala. So look at this guy. He's saying, oh, don't worry, to the body. Everything is fine. He's in attention position. Everything is fine. It's not danger. You'll be fine. So all the things are functioning well. But what happens when the event comes in, when the fear comes in, when the worries comes in, and if you allow the worries or the emotions or the anxiety or the depressions or a lot of tensions to come in, or the burnout to come in, then this amygdala, the alarm system, what it says, hey, it's danger. Life is danger. You can't do it. You are stupid. You're good for nothing. You're not worthy. Then things will not function well. Because the negative thought of alertness has sent a signal to the whole body and the brain saying you can't do it. And then what happens? When it says you can't do it, you're stupid, you're good for nothing, the brain will not function well. And you're always on hypervigilant. Oh, look at that person. What is that person saying about me? Look at that person. Why is that person staring at me? Am I so stupid? Or am I not looking nice? Am I very foolish? I'm so sorry, I nearly used Nepali. I so used to speaking Nepali. So lot of negative thoughts always puts you in hypervigilance. It's the brain functioning this way. So how do you want your brain to function? You want your brain to function this way, or you want your brain to function this way? If you want your brain to function this way, that means you are not, it's hand model. It's in the YouTube also. When the event takes place, this is amygdala, this alarm system that sends in the brain, that sends the signal to the body. So when our brain is supposed to be like this, I'm sure the health professionals, our brain is supposed to be like this. Thinking has to cover it, right? But then when the fear, anxiety, and all this depression comes in, what happens? It's an event, exactly like the way we had an earthquake. Suddenly something happened. Suddenly COVID came. So what happened? Our thinking brain went up, got scared, and the alarm started sending this little guy here, amygdala. So it started sending signals to the body saying, hey, it's dangerous, it's dangerous. Then what happened? The thinking opened and the emotions, the feelings started working. So if you let the feelings start working, then it's dangerous. Because feelings can be, today you are happy, tomorrow you're not happy, today you're angry, tomorrow you're sad. So all these things, emotions. So when we take action in our emotions, then things go wrong. We need to close this, and our thoughts process should be good. Our thought process should be changed. So we need our brain to be like that. That's why we need to check ourselves. How are we functioning? Today, am I really working on emotions, or am I thinking properly? Am I reacting very fast, or am I thinking twice before I do something? So we need to check ourselves again and again. And when things go wrong, the very moment you allow your emotions to work, things may go wrong. When the things go wrong, then the recovery will be difficult. It will be up and down and up and down. Your emotions will go up and down and up and down and up and down. That's why we have to be very careful in looking after health, not just physical and spiritual, but also mental health. So what do we do then? What do we do then? It says in the Bible, do not be conformed to this world, but be transformed by the renewal of your mind. That means test. Is your mind thinking correctly? Are you working properly? Are you tired? Am I reacting very fast? Am I saying bad things to myself? Am I listening to what the world is saying? Or am I listening to what the Bible is saying? Am I too emotional? So we need to check ourselves. We need to really check ourselves, because the Bible keeps saying, renew your mind. Do not be conformed to this world, but be transformed by renewal of your mind. Am I too negative? I need to think like that. Am I too negative? Am I saying I will never be able to manage this? Am I saying that? Am I saying I cannot do this? When the Bible says I can do everything through Christ who strengthens me. But am I saying that? Am I too negative? Am I saying life is unfair? Am I feeling rejected when God says, I will never leave you and never forsake you? Am I being so critical? Am I making comparison? Am I comparing myself with somebody else? Am I loving myself? Am I gentle? We need to check. We need to check that. So how do we deal with these negative thoughts? Aware. Allow and check the thought process. Watch what is coming. What are you saying? Acknowledge. Yes, today I'm not in a position. Today I'm not well. Acknowledge that. I'm not feeling well. That's why I am saying what I am saying right now. So I better take care of myself. Oh, today I'm very angry. Yes, acknowledge, because everybody has, I don't know whether you're, when I came to Dulikil, I had shared about all those emojis of different feelings when I was speaking with Nepali Medical Fellowship. So that time I said, a lot of feelings do come, a lot of emotions do come. It's okay, acknowledge it, but we need to release it. We need to release and we need to ease up. So aware, we need to be aware of ourselves. We need to be aware of ourselves. We need to understand who we are. We cannot pretend. Sometimes we wear mask. So when we are dealing with negative thoughts, let's put our mask away and be who we are. When we become who we are, when we allow ourselves to be who we are, then we can take care of ourselves. But if we pretend and wear the mask, then we won't be allowed to take care of ourselves. So we have to be honest with our own self. And there are a lot of things that we need to understand. Things that we can control, things that we cannot control. And most of us, including me, we depend more on the things, we rely more on the things that we cannot control. We incline towards on the things that we cannot control. And we don't look at the things that we can control. So we need to be very careful on that. Things that I cannot control is the virus. But things I can control is I can keep myself safe. Things that I cannot control is what the people say about me. But things I can control is what I believe about myself. Things I cannot control is my future. But things I can control is my today. Things that I cannot control is the worries that are coming all over me. But things I can control is not to let the worry rule my mind. So we need to look at that. What is in your control and what is out of your control? The things that I cannot control is my past, but things that I can control is my present. So we need to be very careful. We need to be very careful what I can control, what I can't control, and let go. Let go. For example, this phone is in my hand. Now I can break it, I can use it, I can call anybody. But when I give it to somebody else, it's not my problem of how that person uses it. I've already given it. So when we put our problems in front of God, it's God's problem. It's not my problem. I just need to trust God and wait on God. So don't let the fear rule you, but let the faith take control of your life. Worries create bondage for the next life because it's worries, it entangles you. It entangles you. So we have to let go of certain things and carry on what you can do it. Who loves the worms? Do you want these worms to come in your life and dwell in your mind all the time? The bird will fly above your head. You cannot stop the bird. Hey, don't fly above me. But you can stop the bird making a nest on your head. So worries will definitely come. A lot of worries comes. It comes on my mind as well. It comes. I have to be very careful on what to let it in and what to let it go. So it will come. It's not that it will not come. It will come. I'm not superwoman that worries doesn't come. It does come. Right now, I have a lot of worries. My dad passed away. Now I have my mom that I need to take care. I have my 2 kids and I have my foster kids. I have a lot of children that I've rescued. I have to take care of them. I have my job. And sometimes worries do come. But then if I let those worries take me, I will be like this, you know. But I need to trust in God. And I had to segregate what are the things that I need to do first so that it doesn't overwhelm me. Because if it overwhelms me, then I will be like that guy who had a lot of things on the baggage. That's why when doubts filled my mind, your comfort gave me renewed hope and cheer. Why did David say that? Because David also had a lot of fear. David had a lot of doubts. In between, David was angry. But then what happened? He has put all his problem in front of God. He didn't let that rule his mind. Because it says in Philippians also, do not be anxious about anything, but in everything by prayer and supplications with thanksgiving, let your requests be made known to God. So if you let your worries come and rule you, then what happens? You will be like this. If we don't take medicines, what happens? If we come to you all, if I as a patient come to you, and then I just say, I have this, blah, 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 all the words, blah, 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 pain in the back, pain at the head, pain at whatever pain. And then after that, when you are about to talk to me and say, hey, take this medicine, I just walk out. Thank you, doctor. And I walk out. Do you think I will be fine? With all my pain I have, I brought to in front of the doctor and I shared everything. And then without taking medicines and without taking any advices from the doctor, I just walk. It's not going to help me because I'm still carrying that pain. But doctor gives me medicines, doctor gives me advice. And if I follow that, then I will be fine. Similarly, all the worries will be there. Me as a person, me as an owner of myself, if I segregate and I say, okay, I will not do this, I will not do this, I will take rest, I will do this, then I will be fine mentally. Otherwise, I will be like this guy. Who wants to be like this guy? That's why we should have a positive self-talk. And God is positive. And God knows the fear will come. That's why it's mentioned in the Bible. Exactly the number of days that we have in a year, it's mentioned in the Bible. Do not fear. Do not fear. Because God knows the fear is the disaster thing in our life. That will affect your mind. One, it affects your mind, it affects your whole body. Once it affects your body, it affects your emotions and it affects you spiritual. So it says, that's why my positive, this is just an example. You can say a lot of things from the Bible. I'm a child of God. A lot of things, you know. God has given a lot of promises in the Bible. So we could say that. So here it says, I am enough. I believe in myself. I'm created in the image of God. I'm a child of God. I'm a royal priesthood. I'm righteous. God has made me righteous. God has chosen me. God loves me. He will never leave me. He will never forsake me. I was fearfully and wonderfully made. I'm not ugly. I'm beautiful because I'm created in the image of God. So all those things will definitely boost you up. Once it boosts you up, your energy is up. Once your energy is up, everything is fine. You know, so here also you see, we just have to try. We just have to try. Look at this step. But then, step by step, we can do it. And every day is a new day. Every day is a new day. Every day is a new day. Every day is a beginning. There are people who are suffering, but every second people are longing to leave in the hospital. Every second values is a value. So we need to take a deep breath and then be refreshed on mind and smile and start your day. And that will give you more energy. Be kind to yourself. When you are mentally tired, think, sit, relax. Relax. Even the oxygen. You know, like my husband used to tell me, in the hospital, people pay a lot of money for that oxygen. Everything rely on that oxygen, whether I'm living or I'm dying. But God has given us free oxygen. If he had to send us a bill, imagine, do you think we'd be able to pay? So let us be grateful. Let us be thankful. Be kind to yourself. Accept your feelings. It's okay. Let's accept. We all have feelings. We feel like crying. We feel like laughing, we feel like getting angry. Yes, accept it. But let us be under the window of tolerance. Because if we are above the window of tolerance or below the window of tolerance, then the depression will come in. And then you will start hating yourself. That's why we have to be very careful. So when this thought comes on your mind, stop, recognize it, take a minute, think about it, and respond it well. Think twice before you say anything. Think twice before you do anything. Be patient. That is one of the key of resilience. Gratitude. I have made a gratitude journal. Gratitude, because gratitude is a greatest gift. That's why Bible says, be joyful in every circumstances. It didn't say be joyful in good times or be joyful in when you have a baby, be joyful when you get a job. No, be joyful in every circumstances and embrace the uncertainty. It's part of life, but it's not full of life. And we have to have a sense of purpose. Once we have all those things, we can do it. And that will keep us healthy. That will definitely help us to reach where we have to. And it will keep our mental health stable. Because we understand the meaning of life and the purpose of our life. Why do we take care of ourselves, especially the health professionals should take care of yourself? Because it increases your productivity, it prevents compassion fatigue, it improves self-esteem, we will have more to give to others, we get to know ourselves better, and it will help us to manage our emotions well. That's why we should have a very good self-talk of ourselves. And the self-talk we have in the Bible, I really like, you all can check on the internet and download from there, Father's Love Letter. It's really nice. It's very good for self-talk, the Father's Love Letter. It says, you may not know me, but I know everything about you. I know when you sit down and when you rise up. I'm familiar with all your ways. Even the very hair on your head are numbered, for you were made in my image. In me you live and move and have your being, for you are my offspring. You were not a mistake. Sometimes we think we are a mistake, but no, you're not a mistake. I determined the exact time of your birth and where you would live. You're fearfully and wonderfully made. There's a long one, there's a long list. Because I don't have a time, so I would like you to check on your Google, and then you can print out and put it in your mirror, because we will always look at the mirror. Father's Love Letter. This will remind you of who you are and will refresh your mind. So wake up and be awesome. Wow, it's a new day. God has given me a new day. I need not worry. When I was studying in UK, I never worried for my school fees. I used to say, I am a child of God. My Father created the heaven and the earth. So all those people who are staying on this one, some of them are staying on rent on my land. So when I have to pay the fees, my God will provide it. So every day I trusted in the God and He helped. No? So let us connect. Let us talk. Let's listen. Be there. Feel connected with God. Listen to God. Talk to God. And see what your mind is saying. What are the thoughts? What is worrying you? What are the thoughts that are coming? And how do I replace that with God's thoughts? Take your time. Give a time to yourself. Give a time to God. Be in the presence of the Lord and be yourself. Notice everything that you do. Notice what is happening in your body. Where is the pain? If you are stressed, what are the pains? How are you feeling in your body? Notice that. Notice that, because sometimes stress kills your body. Please notice that. Keep learning new experiences. Surprise yourself. Give something new to yourself. Be active. Be what you can. Enjoy what you do. And move your mood. This is a tracker. You can make a heart and then see. You can make any activities, you can do that. And I really like this. I'm simply too blessed to be stressed. And then the 5 features of resilience, 5 features of how you can fight is joy, gentleness, trust, prayer, and peace. And the peace of God, which transcends all understanding, will guard your heart and your mind. We should allow God to guard our heart, not the worries, not the thoughts. We have improving your thoughts. Life takes practice and repetition. Be gentle with yourself as you learn and grow in this. Focus on your wholeness in Jesus, who created you to be.
Excuse, ma'am. Ma'am, you are muted.
Thank you, Shraddha. Thank you. Okay, so improving your thoughts. I'll repeat again. I don't know where I was muted. Improving your thoughts. Life takes practice and repetition. Be gentle with yourself. Focus on your wholeness in Jesus, how Jesus has created us to be, instead of a brokenness. Start living life to the full now, even though things may not be as you want yet. Be proud of yourself. Be proud of what God has called you to be. And He will help us. Sow the way, go the way, and know the way. So to sow the way, we have to be an example. If I am not well, how can I sow the way? I have to go the way with good health, with good mental health. And then I need to know the way. I need to know how to live a life so that I can sow the way. And the way is Jesus. The Bible gives you the hope. We have a hope. We can renew our mind by replacing it with the thoughts of Christ, because we have a sound mind that God has given us. But the choice is ours, whether you want God to rule your mind or yourself to rule the mind. Lastly, it says in Psalms 26:3, "For I have always been mindful of your unfailing love, and have lived in reliance on your faithfulness. You will keep in perfect peace those whose minds are steadfast, because they trust in you." Isaiah 26:3. Jesus replied, "Love the Lord your God with all your heart, and with all your soul, and with all your mind." Matthew 22, verse 37. So God is with us. God is with us. When God is with us, no one can be against us. That means even the enemy who is waiting like a roaring lion, devour near the doorstep, waiting for us to be fearful, waiting for us to, let the fear come in and forgetting the faith. If we trust in God, and if we put our trust in God, the enemy cannot do anything. So our mind will be fine. Our thoughts will be fine. So let our thought be replaced by God's thought, and we can move forward. So mental health matters. If we don't take care of our mental health, if we don't take care of our thoughts, the consequences would be worse, and it will lead us into disaster, which is suicide. So when the suicidal thought comes, we have to think again, and let us encourage one another. Let us help one another. We have to encourage one another. That's why God says, have fellowship with one another. It's because we need each other. We are the body of Christ, as the previous speaker had said. So thank you so much. If there's any question, feel free to ask.